So it turns out we've had some complaints about the last few episodes of the Hattorian. No one understands the references. I know, I'm culture swines. So here's an idiot's guide to the references of the past few episodes. The Child, The Mandalorian. Watch the whole show. It's coming to Disney Plus apparently in March, because, you know, no UK Star Wars fans have watched it online already, have they? Sorry, bad chest. Disney, marketing geniuses. Second reference, the Ben Solo Shrug. It went viral last week. Does anyone pay attention to Star Wars Instagram trends? And the third reference, Ben Solo, which went viral about 2 years ago when loads of people wondered why Kylo Ren was walking around the ship with his top off. See, it's tough. You put all this effort to make these really high quality videos. What? Why is there a plug in the back? Brit Rest? You know, this is what we do, innit? What do you mean Brit Rest? Well, if there's a centre of the universe for good wrestling promo videos, we're about as furthest away as you can get. I'm not going to explain that reference.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the following contest is our main event of the evening and will be contested at open weight. It will be contested in 6 5-minute rounds and is for the PWL Great British Championship. Introducing first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner to my left. He weighed in this morning at 12 stone 3. Fighting out of Hereford, it is the Hatter, Chris Rolls!
Come on, baby, let's make some
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the HATTER'S Hijinx. You really have to excuse my voice and overall demeanour this week. I was a bit ill last week, and this week I've got very ill. This is the first time I got out of bed for 2 days. And I'm only doing this because I can't watch any more Netflix or TV, so I'm like, I've got to do something productive. So here's episode 3. Yes, something did just fall over. Do something productive. So here's episode 3. So last weekend was the PWL Back in Time show at Bilston Football Club. This show was amazing. The entire show was contested under traditional British rules matches, and every match was in rounds under the Admiral Lord Mount Evans rules, and I loved this show. It was so much fun. I'm too young to remember World of Sport, but it's something that I've studied in great depth as I've got older, grown up with the stories. I always love it when you get someone backstage at a show who was wrestling during the World of Sport days. I love picking their ears and getting all the stories. So to do a show in that style was amazing. I had such a good match with Danny Gold. He was the hometown boy, so the crowd was so hot for him. My father was my corner man again, and it was brilliant. One of my favourite matches of my career. one of my favourite shows of my career. I don't know if they're going to do another one. The fans are asking for it, so I could only assume they're going to do another one. And if they do, I'm going to be plugging the hell out of it on this show. Whether I'm booked or not, because if I'm not booked, I'm going to be sat front row enjoying the show. It was such a good show. I cannot praise PWL enough for that show and what they put on. And it was truly an honour to main event it. And a show that will live with me for the rest of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has called a fall at 1 minute 49 seconds.
And I have a really cool momentum because they've done a traditional program with wrestlers' BOs in the centre and a really old-fashioned looking card on the back. And it came with a little poster as well. Such a good show. I made the cover of the program. Yeah, that's me. So that's one of my most treasured items. I'm a very sentimental person. I keep things like tickets and programs and posters from shows I was on, and that is easily in my top 3 of my prized possessions. As mentioned, I've been in bed for a couple of days, so it's given me a chance to watch some stuff on Netflix. First thing I watched was The Irishman. A little bit of background on myself. I adore Goodfellas and Casino. They're 2 of my favourite films of all time, especially Goodfellas. This is truly the 3rd film in that series. Goodfellas and Casino's not a sequel to Goodfellas, but it feels like it is. It's got the same actors and the same director, the same style, and this is very much the same. Famously, Martin Scorsese has pulled Joe Pesci out of retirement for this film, and to see him and De Niro together again in a Martin Scorsese picture is truly, truly magical. When they first meet at the start whilst fixing the lorry, touched my heart. It was beautiful. And I thought the whole film was beautiful. It runs for 3.5 hours. It's a very long film. But then again, so are Goodfellas and Casino. If you like Goodfellas and Casino, you're going to love this movie. I cannot recommend it enough. It went on for 3.5 hours and I didn't want it to end. Al Pacino is brilliant. Harvey Keitel is brilliant. Anna Paquin, I can't say her name, Rogue from X-Men. She's brilliant, even though she has 2 lines. It's nothing to do with sexism. If you actually read why she was cast because she was very good at facial expressions, and Martin Scorsese just knew it. There wasn't going to be much speaking parts for that role. It's a brilliant film. I can't recommend it enough. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a film I'm going to revisit again and again, like I've revisited Goodfellas and Casino again and again. It's Scorsese's best film. I'm going to say since Aviator. Yeah, and I only got the Oscars for the one, didn't he? But yeah, I loved it. 10 out of 10. I wonder if you've not seen Goodfellas and Casino, would it be so emotional for you? Maybe. That's something I do wonder, because a few of my friends have watched it and they haven't liked it. But they've also told me they've never seen Casino. And it's on Netflix. Filmmaking just isn't done like this anymore. And there's something sad about this film, because when you look at the age of the actors and the age of the directors, part of you wonders, will there be another film like this again? It's been 22 years since we've had another one. But if it's the final hurrah, what an amazing swan song. Joe Pesci, please stay acting. You're such a good actor. I know he's got an Oscar nomination for this, so hopefully. Today, everything's just falling over. I don't know what's going on. Another film I watched was Hellboy. I adore the first 2 films. I have steelbooks of both. This is like a steelbook special episode. But I adore them. The first one especially was a big movie for me when I was a teenager, when it came out. I have read the comic books, not massively. I think I got like the first few graphic novels, collected editions, whatever you want to call them. And this film came out and got panned, and I was disappointed by what I was reading. So friends of mine watched it a couple of weeks ago and they recommended it to me. And like you are when you're ill, you just sat down watching telly. So I thought I'd put it on. I generally really enjoyed it. It's not amazing. It's not brilliant. It is total trash, but it's fun trash. It's a science fiction superhero monster movie where he hunts vampires and giants and witches, and it's about a boy who's a devil's son. Why are we taking this film seriously? It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I thought that, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, so I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Was brilliant as Hellboy. That's probably the tragedy of this film, is that because it's been panned, there's not going to be a sequel, and he was really good as Hellboy. And a really cool wrestling scene in it as well. I'm very critical of professional wrestling scenes in movies for very obvious reasons, but I really enjoyed this professional wrestling scene. It's near the start of the movie, so if you want to just watch that scene, it won't take you long to find it. Yeah, let's have fun. It's a fun movie. It's not brilliant, it's just a fun movie. Movies are allowed to be fun. I'm not scheduled to wrestle any shows this weekend. PWL are putting on a really good show. I've wrestled that venue before. They're always really cool shows. Get down to there. They're showing the Royal Rumble after. I'm actually doing something really unique Saturday night, which you'll see in next week's video blog. My next scheduled appearance is for Full Force Wrestling on the Friday, 7th of February at a Macadam. Always one of my favourite venues. The crowd there are wild. Tickets are available from the Full Force website. I've never wrestled in one-on-one before. He's a fantastic talent, and this is a match I'm really looking forward to. So for the rest of the week, I'm going to go back to bed and try and get better, and hopefully be fighting fit in time for next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes 27 seconds of the 6th and final round, declaring your winner by knockout and still PWL British champion, Danny Gold.
And thank you. I just want to say thank you as well for the feedback for the show. It's been really good, and loads of views on Facebook. People are watching me on YouTube also. Please keep liking and sharing. Any questions, anything you want me to talk about, let me know. I started this video blog web series on a bit of a whim, and I've grown to really quite like it. And if I'm honest, it's been more successful than I thought it would. So let's just keep this train rolling, baby.